Hi, and welcome to Confluence Conversations, the podcast exploring impactful topics in education, community, and student success. I'm your host, Haley Bruick, and today we're highlighting a unique collaboration that empowers students through the arts. This episode focuses on how the Fox Theater's programs are enriching the lives of students, giving them access to art experiences that inspire, educate, and transform. I'm thrilled to welcome Leah Gieshel from the Fox Theater, who plays a key role in leading community programs that create these opportunities for students. Leah, welcome.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here.
Glad you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's our pleasure. Let's start by telling us a little bit of how you got involved with Fox Theater.
Yes, so I've been at the Fox Theater now for a little over 2 years. I actually started in our membership office and then slowly worked my way into group sales. And now I oversee group sales at the Fabulous Fox. And I'm working with lots of different tour companies, tour travel, student groups, family and friend groups. But I have a really special place in my heart for our student groups. So I'm thrilled to be here to go over some of those student group details that we offer at the Fabulous Fox.
Well, let's start there. Tell us a little bit about, because I know we have a little bit, you've worked with our sister school or Confluence Academies, Grand Center Arts.
Yes. So we have had a good relationship with them for many years. They've tend to book with us about every season, at least 1 or 2 shows for group sales. And I know that they have also partaked in our educational encores that we offer for some of our evening performances on a Friday evening. And just to give a background on what our educational encores are, is they are a post-show Q&A with the cast that is geared towards our student groups. And we actually gather questions ahead of time prior to the evening performance in the Q&A. And so the students are allowed to ask their questions at that Q&A. And there are only so many that we can select. Unfortunately, we aren't able to have 24 questions, but we do select about 4 or 5 questions. And so the student is able to stand up, feel that confidence in the theater, and be able to ask their question to the cast members. And I really think that's one of the most important aspects of the encore, is for the student themselves to be able to stand up and be able to ask that question and then get the response as well from the cast members.
Absolutely. Yes. It's a great experience. And what kind of questions are they asking? Are these usually students who are interested in pursuing a career in theater?
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll see a wide range of questions that get submitted my way prior to the encores. And actually, it's really fascinating to read some of these questions, because some of them will gear towards wanting a little more information on how it is on the road. You know, what does your schedule look like, all the way back to costumes and makeup and how things work. But then there's some students who really want to know, if I want to pursue this career, what path can I take? So you'll notice that a lot of the questions vary, but they all are so important in different ways. But you would be very impressed by the questions that these students get to bring up, and then the conversations that are led, when these questions are asked. And even sometimes I like to watch the cast's reaction when the student asks the question, because they don't see the questions ahead of time.
I was going to ask that.
Yes. And no, that's a really great question. So moving forward, they don't get to see the questions. On occasion, there will be a request from the production team. Can I just get an idea of what the questions might be? And we're happy to do that. But I really like to see the reaction from the cast members when they're like, oh, that's a really great question, or, oh my gosh, yes, I'd be happy to answer that. So you'll see that there's a wide range of questions that are asked during the encores.
And how do the cast members choose who's going to answer it? Is it someone with that experience?
No, that's a really great question. A lot of it also depends on our time frame. So we try to keep the encores no more than 25 to 30 minutes, because just to remind everyone, it is after the evening performance. So usually, give or take 2.5 hours for the show, then a quick, get everyone out of the theater, and then we start the encore. So it's been a wide range. I will say most of my experience with the encores, all the cast members like to answer. But there have been times where some of the cast members will be like, oh, I know so-and-so is better at answering that one, because they have specific experience in that area. So you'll see that it will range depending on time, what the question is, if someone has specific experience in that area. But then there's always that question, like, for example, like, what's your favorite part about being on Broadway? And they all want to answer. So there's a lot of factors that play into who and what want to answer.
And is there any kind of connection after the encore with either the student group or the actors? Like, is there any kind of connection that's made there?
The connection, I would say, is that initial connection during the encore, getting to ask their Q&A, getting to thank them, for taking the time to be there to listen to their questions. I've been so impressed by some of the feedback that students not only have given me, thanking me, which, obviously means so much to me, but also taking the time to thank the cast members. But once we leave the encore, that's usually kind of where the experience is left. But I always like to think that when they come for that encore, when they leave that evening, they're leaving on, I hope that they're leaving on such a high note with lot more educational, tips or facts, and just leaving on that high note of, wow, I got to experience this tonight. Not only just the show, but getting to meet some of the cast members and getting to answer their questions.
Absolutely. That must feel really cool. And then they're getting educated, but also inspired.
Yes. I mean, and like I said, I really am so impressed by some of the questions that are put together. And when they ask them, because you can really tell some of these students are so passionate about theater or music or drama that they really want to know, if I want to pursue this, if I have a dream, what are some of the tips that you can give me? And it really is, even just someone taking it in, who has done many of these now, taking it in every time the encore is different. I mean, I take something different away each night I do those encores, and they're just so, so important. And you can just see it with, these lasting impacts that are being left with these students when they leave that night.
So you mentioned that you've booked these groups,
yes,
and you've done it with Grand Center Arts
yes.
Academy. How many times have they done it? A couple so far?
Probably, at least with me being in this position, a handful of times. Yes, they've booked some of our groups with us, and then they will attend the post-show encore, depending on, and just to mention, if I didn't mention it prior, the encores are usually on a Friday evening. On occasion, you'll notice, just depending on when holidays fall or such, an encore might be on a Wednesday or Thursday. Rarely does that happen, but mostly they're on that Friday evening. So yes, I have in the past. I think they might have booked on other days, but there have been days where they have booked on a Friday, so then they can attend that post-show encore.
Yeah, because that would be that educational bonus, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So what does an organization do to reach out to schedule a group? How do they go about this?
Oh, yes. We make a lot of different connections with our group leaders. And I would like to mention, we at the Fabulous Fox, I feel like we have a really robust student master list, and which I would love to see to continue to grow. So we are not, and social media is such a thing nowadays. So we post, the Fox in general posts so much on social media, but in regards to groups, we definitely are email heavy. I will say we reach out to our educators pretty often throughout the year. And not only through email, but we also do have some paper materials. You probably know in this day and age, we're all probably getting away from paper materials.
Absolutely right.
So like, for example, this season, and I can actually give you a copy when we're finished, but we have a nice little rack card that has a QR code on it. So that is another way that we reach out, is we'll mail these mail the rack card, and they can scan the QR code, and the rack card kind of has some basic information about student groups. But the two big things I like to mention is we always send a welcome back educator email around August when they're back in school. And then we always send usually around May, we send like a don't forget about us before you hit summer break email. And we see that there's definitely an influx and inquiries with both of those hits. And in both of those emails, we will be highlighting things to keep in mind. And definitely the one we just sent out in August, like the welcome back email, it highlighted all of our encore dates, pricing as low as $28. So we have seen that those 2 emails really hit groups hard in a good way.
Right.
So we're always in communication. And I always tell people too, like even family members, keep an eye on our website at all times, or also just our social media. I mean, our marketing team is so great and they're so good about making things available via social media as well.
Okay, well, we can put in our show notes, we can put that QR code or a link to your webpage.
Yeah,
so
that would
people
be wonderful.
can maybe who are listening and they're interested in having a group come and participate in the encore.
That would be great. And QR codes are such a thing now, aren't they?
They are. They absolutely are. I know. I remember years ago, what's that?
What's that?
And now you just automatically...
Yeah. And you know, what's really interesting with the data that we have, we can see how many people have scanned that QR code. And that data does really become interesting to me. Just to see how many people open it. And, you would think my generation is all about like the technology, and I am so not about the technology. I'm still like paper, handwriting things, but no, we really are social media heavy, but we definitely in groups specifically, we are always sending out emails. And I feel like we make it really simple in those emails, like either click here or scan here, and you can have access to tickets, as quick as that. But usually for the larger groups, they're contacting me.
They're reaching out to you for the larger group. If anyone's listening and I'm not part of a group, can they participate in the encore or it's group only?
No, that's a great question. I always tell people if they are staying that I would never turn anyone away. I feel like anyone, truly, because I'm 32 years old and I feel like I benefit from these encores. Truly, I really, truly feel like I do. So you will notice, like if you're at a show at the Fox on a Friday evening, you will notice that there are a handful of people that stay back, whether it's for the encore. Whether it's just out of curiosity or word of mouth. And I have had people call the group's office that said, I'm coming that evening. I didn't buy group tickets, but my son, is 7 years old and we're bringing a couple of friends. Is it okay if we stay back? And I'm like, yes, absolutely. I wouldn't want to deny anyone that. So if anyone is listening and you come across our encore dates and you are just interested in what they are, what we do, please stay. It just educates you even more.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And that helps everyone.
Yes.
Did we forget anything? Anything else you want to add about your program or Fox in general?
Oh my gosh.
Or student groups specifically.
I could talk about the Fabulous Fox probably for hours. But I can give out our email. That is one, if it's not me personally, I have a really great supportive staff that work alongside of me. So if I'm out doing cool things like this, someone is manning the phone and the email. So you could reach us at groups@foxstl.com. And we are really good about getting back to you in a timely manner. And I always say, like I said previously, check social media, check our site. Our group sales webpage has a lot of great information on there. We have a whole tab just for our student groups. So you can find a lot of good information there. And in order to get your student discount, make sure you call us because it's not available online. Like if you want to buy them and pay in full online, you won't get your student discount. So that's another important aspect is call us or email us so you can get if you're a student group, to get your student discount because I want you to get your discount.
Okay. Definitely. I'm sure they want it too.
Yes,
so
and I always say the show approves us group sales for these wonderful discounts. I want to sell them. So I want to sell them to our student group. So yes, and just call us or email us if you are a student group of 10 or more, so you can get your student discount.
Okay. If you're driving and listening, just go to their website where all that information will be. And we'll also post it in the show notes.
Yes, that would be great.
Well, fantastic.
I'm sure I could talk your ear off about the Fabulous Fox, but I'm really thankful to be here and to be able to talk about group sales and specifically for our student groups because it's just so important. And we have a lot of great shows coming up this season and a lot of great encores and student opportunities. And we also have study guides as well that are free of charge, that can be printed out. And I know a lot of our teachers do use those and utilize those.
I would imagine language arts,
yes.
especially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. And they're free of charge. I mean, they're on our website now. So yes, anytime if you are a student group, please don't hesitate to call or email. I am always happy to help.
Fantastic.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
I think that pretty much covers it,
I know.
right?
This was great. I'm happy to talk about group sales, and especially for our student groups.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity. Teachers, students.
Yes,
and
teachers.
It's nice
yes.
to know that if you're just a fan going to Fox, that you can stay for
Yes.
the encore and benefit
Yes.
from that. You won't be able to submit questions.
Correct.
But you can.
Yeah, I would never want to turn. And you will know, like, if you guys are ever there, or if you're listening, you're like, now I know what that was, that one Friday night I was there. Because, just out of curiosity, people will stay back, and I'm like, yes, please do, please do. But yeah.
That's why it's great
Yes.
that you're here sharing, because it is a little foreign until you get more information.
Yes, no,
and you
absolutely.
explained it so well.
Yes, well, thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for having me. I'm thrilled to speak on behalf of group sales.
Well, Leah, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And for all our listeners, thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you.
Once again, we will put everything in the show notes, or go to their website. Repeat the website for me, Leah.
So at fabulousfox.com is our website. And then there, under the events and tickets tab, there will be a group sales tab, and you can find us there. Or you can email us at groups@foxstl.com.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Everyone have a great day.